Hello and welcome to the stage of this episode of Stage of the
No,
Game
no, 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 no.
that we didn't think would happen because of technical issues that rapidly were fixed by restarting your computer. When in doubt,
Yeah, Owen.
just restart your computer.
When in doubt, restart your computer. Exactly. Good job, Owen.
And
We're
now
proud
I'm
of you.
getting a warning from the software saying this Mac is not running fast enough to record this video from the call. The recording frame rate will be lowered to complete. To prevent this warning, choose a lower frame rate. So it's still recording. It's just going to be a shitty quality.
Hey.
Because my Mac's not fast enough, which doesn't surprise me. It's not fast enough. It's a MacBook.
This has been quite the day.
Yeah. So, on top of that, we've been gone for over a month now.
Yeah.
It's kind of coming up on a month and a half is probably.
Sorry,
Our bad.
stuff happened.
But yeah, a lot has happened. I guess I'll start with what happened in my life. We closed She Loves Me on December 24th. I can't remember the last time we did an episode, but I think it was before.
It was right before Christmas,
Yeah.
I think.
So we closed that. We closed it on Christmas Eve, and then the show went down, got people to the train station, hopped in my car and drove home to see my family for Christmas. And spent Christmas with my family. Then I went to my cousin's wedding. Then my grandma died, and I was at a funeral for that.
I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I didn't make a big fuss of it. It was hard. I was dealing with a hard time.
Sorry, I'm really sorry to hear.
But thank you.
Now we all want to hug Owen.
Yeah.
The good news is she was at my cousin's wedding, so she got to be with her. That was only the second time in 20 years that she had been with all of her grandchildren at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So then she died 2 weeks later. So it was nice.
And that's our episode, folks.
Jeez.
But after that, and now we opened a new show at Cap Rep called Paris Time. I don't want to get into it because I have a lot of feelings about it, and I'm not going to talk about it.
It'd be great.
Because now people at the theater know I do this podcast, and I'm limited by what I can actually say. Not that they're going to watch it, but they know it exists.
They know it exists.
Good to know.
So that's all the things happening in my life. Tony had a pretty big thing happen.
I'm no longer on the East Coast. I am calling from Vail, Colorado. I'm teaching out here, which is new. I'm teaching, directing, otherwise producing for a school out here, and it's awesome. I really, really like it. And if behind me, if there was daylight, there's a mountain, and that's so cool. I wake up to a snowy mountain every day until May, when there's no more snow. So it's really great, and it was a really big whirlwind the week. But it was a sudden opening for the position. I flew out and interviewed. I had a whole bunch of out-of-state interviews and Skype interviews, and then I flew out, interviewed in person the week between Christmas and New Year's, and was hired while I was out here, and came back for a week, and then drove a car that I bought 3 days ago at the time, and drove that out here. So it's starting to have a semblance of normalcy, which is really great, and I'm ecstatic about it. So
Yay!
actual employment, working in theater, actual employment.
You're doing it. You're making it happen, buddy.
And he
I'm very
makes
excited.
more than Jesse and I combined.
I'm certain that's true.
We don't actually know how much.
I
don't know how much he makes, but I'm pretty certain that's true.
But it's definitely less. Yes.
I'm not saying. So
Well, minimum wage did just go up in New York, so
well, there you go.
making $2 extra an hour at my ushering gig.
Nice.
What's the minimum wage now?
$13.
Wait,
Very nice.
13? Oh, that's in New York City.
but you're in New York
Damn
City.
it. Say, like, wait a second. I'm only getting paid 11.
It's still not enough that we can actually live here, although we audaciously try anyway.
Good use of the word audacious. That was good. That's like that's a playwriter's word.
Oh,
But you've made
segue.
some money off of your plays, have you not?
I didn't make money, but I also didn't lose any money.
Hey,
And that's
the same
that's
thing.
a big thing.
True success.
When you're not losing money
I
by putting
agree.
on shows, that's a big
Yes.
fucking deal.
I agree.
You should
That was
talk
my
about those
January.
things.
Yeah.
I will. Yeah, my play Rachel went up 2 times, really 3 times in January, and I didn't produce any of them. Yeah, in early January, we went to Guild Hall in the East Hamptons, which was hella fancy and very, very cool. And they just gave us like 4 days to workshop the piece in like a big, fancy 12-bedroom, $2 million house on their big, fancy grand piano stage, for which our play is like way too small to fill. But boy, was it fun to try. It was a cool program. It's like, because no one is in the East Hamptons in the winter, it's like totally Deadsville. So the theater is dark, so they just give away the space so you can develop new pieces, which we
Very
did,
cool.
That's cool.
which was awesome. Yeah, we performed it for like 12 people, but they were really good people who wanted to be there. So I was happy to do it for them. And I didn't pay at all, so that was good. And then we took it to Montclair, New Jersey, to the Union Congregational Church, which was full of very, very kind and nice people. And it was super fun to present it to them. I think that they really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed not paying for it. So everybody wins.
Always enjoy
But
things
don't
for
you have
free.
another project coming up soon?
Which one?
Your
That's a
Viking
yes.
musical.
But
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like-
Oh, my God. I totally forgot about that, which is super dumb because I was just emailing them about it today. Yes, my Viking play, which is my only straight play with no music in it yet, but probably ever, was accepted as a finalist into the Growing Stages New Reading Festival. So it's going to get a reading at the end of February. February 24th. I just got my date today at 4
Very cool.
p.m.
Now,
I
I'm
wanna
going to try hard to come and see it because as long as I've known Jessie, I've known Jessie a very long time, I've not gotten to see any of her work ever.
But you did help me read Mopé a couple times.
I did, but I've never seen any of your the productions of your work.
That's true. Well, this will only be a reading anyway, but you're
Still.
sweet to want to come. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
I would if I could. But
Oh my God, I think you're a little far now,
just a
Tony.
little bit.
Just
We'll wait till-
send us some weed.
No,
Yes.
I will not. And
Yes,
that I
you
will not do.
It'll be fine.
Fine. How will anyone find
On record, no.
Right.
Not doing that.
Oh.
There's no winking.
Not you.
Nothing. No.
Fine, just send us some brownies.
No. Getting nothing. I'm not sending you anything. No.
Just think about it.
Ew.
Anyway, I get a second reading in April, and if I end up being somehow the best of the 4 plays that got selected for readings, I will get a full production with them next year, which would be pretty baller. But I can't imagine that I'll win. I can't imagine why they picked me. The play is crazy. It's a children's theater, and I don't write great work for children. This was my attempt. I did cut the human sacrifice plot line out of it so that children wouldn't have to deal with that.
Won't have to deal with sacrificing one of their friends.
I'm just saying it's in Viking culture. But
Didn't you initially write this for Jared?
Yes.
For the kids at his school?
Jared is the one who told me I shouldn't include a human sacrifice plotline, regardless of the historical accuracy. So
You can send it to Tony and he can do it at his school.
Hey,
now.
there we go. That's an idea.
The real problem with it for children to perform it is that it's 90 pages long, and there are a lot of speeches in it. You know, Jared was looking for a 40-minute piece, and I wrote a 90-minute piece. So
It
my
is
bad.
still pretty short for theater.
And really short for me. That's a personal best almost. I think it's at 89. But yeah, super fun. And then my ushering job finally started back up, which I'm very glad about because I'm very poor. And I have more shifts than ever, and we're doing a cool show called Amy and the Orphans.
I've
And
heard good
it's
things about that.
Yeah, so far it's been really cool. I kind of got to watch it from like the back of the mezzanine behind somebody's big head. So I kind of saw it, but I had a couple feelings even like not fully seeing it. And there's like a famous actress in it from Glee and American Horror Story. And so we've been like trained on what to do if any crazy fan people come and like don't send anyone backstage and don't trust them if they say they can go backstage. Just send them to the stage door. But I've worked 2 shifts and I haven't seen anybody crazy yet, so honestly, disappointing. But we'll
You don't
see.
want to deal with crazy people. I've dealt with crazy people.
But it would make such a good story.
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
Probably not. No, I should not invite trouble.
Well, in all
Yes,
this time
well.
that we've been away and not recording this podcast, we have found time to play a video game here or there.
Here and there.
So we're going to talk about the games we played, what we thought about them. Let's see, I played through, for Christmas, Jesse's brother Jared, he sent me a Steam copy of Night in the Woods and Undertale. I've not played Undertale yet, but I finished Night in the Woods, and I really liked it. I have to say, like, the story was really good. It's kind of weird. The beginning of it, like, you kind of just, like, going through and, like, okay, this is cute and fun, stuff like that. It's nothing too crazy. And then it gets real deep and really fast. It makes, like you can't, there's too much emotion. It's really hard to handle. But by the end of it, like, when there's the last scene that you can like go and resolve all these different plot points. I'm like, no, I'm just going to the end and finishing because I don't want to deal with it anymore. I wanted to say that I finished the game, but I don't want to do it anymore because my heart can't handle it. This was also after like 3 hours of playing.
Jeez.
But still, great game, highly recommend. I got PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds for the Xbox. Good game. Frustrating game as all hell. Anxiety-inducing game to no end. And it needs a lot of work before it's ready for it's ready. It's in game. It's in preview mode for the Xbox right now, so it's only $30, which is kind of why I got it. It's fun, especially if you're playing with a group of people. I've made more friends on Xbox Live in like the past 3 weeks than like in my history of playing Xbox because I've just joined random groups of people. We decide like we play well together, and then we just add each other.
That's so sweet.
Online friends.
Yeah. Some of them are not like people I'd probably hang out with in real life.
Probably
And
not.
you don't have to.
Nope.
It's the beauty of online friends.
Yeah, I appreciate your PUBG skills, but some of those comments you said while we were playing.
And let that mean whatever you think it'll mean.
Yes, I'm not gonna say them online.
Hey,
But,
good call.
I've also, I also picked up South Park: The Fractured But Whole. I've only gotten like a little way through it just because I want to. It's not something I can sit down and like do a quick thing of.
Correct.
I have to sit through it because it's an RPG, so I need like book hours to do it, and so. But it's fun so far. I love the Stick of Truth, just because if you like South Park in any way, you'll love the game. If you like RPGs, you'll like it too. It's just a lot of fun. There's so many like side jokes to things, to references that you'll remember if you've watched the episodes. So, another good game.
I love South Park. I want to get that game.
It's a good game.
I played the first one and liked it a lot. I played the first one and had a 48-hour stomach flu. So I was playing it and then getting up to puke, and then playing and then getting up to puke, and it was a lot of fun because I couldn't sleep. So it was a good purchase. So other than the wanting to die, I have really good memories of that game.
I don't know if I would call that a lot of fun, but I'm glad you had something to help you through the pain.
Exactly. It was awful.
Yeah, but
Anyway.
yeah, GameStop sent me a $20, this 20% off pre-owned game coupon for my birthday. Like, here's this. Like, we sent it to you on your birthday. By the way, you have 4 days to use it. I was like, well, I got shows this weekend, so I'm going to GameStop now.
Hell yeah. Good
I
for
was just
you.
like browsing through, like, I want South Park.
That one. I love this one. Cool. Very
So
cool.
those are the games I've been playing. I recommend all of them.
Nice.
What y'all been playing?
I'll go. So I've been playing Subnautica because it
Ooh,
is
I've heard good
finally
things about that.
it is finally out of beta, and I played it pretty late in the beta. So it was all basically done when I played it, but they added a lot of cool stuff. But it's officially released. It's an official game, and you got to keep your save files. And it's thalassophobia in a game. If you don't know what that is, it is fear of open water. And it's awesome. But I've gotten better at it, but when I started playing it, I could only play for like an hour at a time because there are things that are underneath you when you're on the surface that'll come up and try to eat you. I was in, you build stuff. It's basically Minecraft, but underwater. And it's really very fun and a little more technologically advanced. So you can build like ships and like boats and all this stuff for yourself, and that can go dive underwater. I have a 40-foot submarine now because I've gotten better at the game. And I was in just this little itty bitty boat that I was traveling just because it goes faster and I didn't have to worry about my oxygen levels. And suddenly this giant thing came up from behind me and knocked me out of the water, and I lived. And the boat survived, but I was like, it was 2 a.m. and I screamed like a child, and I was like, I now know what it's like to be a seal, and it was horrifying, but it's a lot of fun, and that was a lot of fun. I recommend it. It's now full price, unfortunately. So if you had the beta, you get the full game, but it's now full price, but it's worth it. Something else I bought myself with my first paycheck out here. I pre-ordered the first DLC for Civ 6, the first full DLC, and that's coming out on Friday. And I'm really excited for that, just because I love Civilization very much. And that's all my other screen. If you saw that gesture, and I bought the now almost 6 months old DLC for XCOM 2. The War of the Chosen, and the story.
It's really hard.
It's very hard. They added just enough new stuff to make it really difficult, but it's a lot of really cool stuff because they kind of like give you soldiers that are specialized in with different factions, and these factions hate each other, and you're supposed to make them like each other, and it's a lot more to it. And I got to a point this past weekend when I was playing it that I was like, I need to stop because I was like, all of these things keep happening. They added something really similar to the Flood in Halo. So these things will just keep coming until you get the objective done. And it started to really freak me out. So I was like, oh my, because if you don't know already, XCOM, you can name your soldiers, you can customize your soldiers. So you name them after your friends, and then your friends die.
It's like Oregon Trail.
Pretty much.
Owen died of dysentery. Tony was bit by a snake.
And it's awesome but horrifying, and you want to keep your friends alive, but every time they die, you're like, no, I failed you. And it's so very fun, and I do recommend it. Makes it much harder though. Like Owen said, it does make it a much more difficult game. And then I've been playing Destiny 2 on and off, because the DLC dropped and I played it, and it's content drought, like usual.
I bought the DLC. I haven't touched it.
Mm-hmm. It's fine.
Games, and I've honestly I've heard very unimpressive things about it.
It added a neat story if you liked the lore, and I do like the lore a lot. So it added a nice little detail to some characters that you wouldn't have. They added characters that you would have read about in the lore but never seen before. Mm-hmm. So it's neat. There wasn't enough of it, and there's a couple of things. They added what's called strikes that they just revamped and barely revamped story missions. So it felt super lazy to me. And I was just like, really? You're just going to make me do this story mission again and make it a little harder and call it new content. So that bothered me. But otherwise I enjoy it. And I still play with my friends, which is the most important part of that game for me. So
yeah. I've heard a lot of groups of people, like a lot of teams, have moved on to games like the Division.
Well, the
Things like
Division did a big overhaul for free.
I did
Because
I played
so
when the last free trial that came out, free weekend that came out. I played through it, and that was after the big update. And I liked it a lot, but I don't have anyone to play with, so I was like, I get it if I had like a team to go with, but I don't.
yeah. And the whole thing was like, hey, we listened to you, we understand your complaints, we're gonna do it for free.
Yeah, and that's
So
what you
everybody-
should do.
Yeah, we get it. You don't like these points, we'll fix it, which is great. That's a good idea. So
But Jesse,
Yes.
what have you?
Jesse, what have you been playing?
What have I been playing? Well, although this feels like a long time ago now, but I guess this was definitely in our little hiatus period of time. I did play Undertale. I played all of Undertale twice. The first time, because you have to, right? Because you go through the first time unsuspecting to what the whole game is, and then it tells you to do it again. So I did. I did do it again. I took the pacifist route. I think that it would literally destroy me. For those who know about it, if I ever played the genocide route, I think I would die. So I have no plans to do that. So I think it's an objectively good game. I will say that. It's an incredibly nuanced storyline, and I was very shocked sometimes. But, like, the action of the game was so hard to get into for me. You're just walking everywhere, and you have to talk to everyone because, like, what if they hold the secret key to the plot? And I also got this game from Jared Field, who loves it, and I appreciate his love, and I even more appreciate his guidance through some parts of the game when I was, like, really starting to lose it. But I didn't love it. I would still recommend it, but I didn't love it. I didn't like playing it. But I do like what it was, and there were times when I was very amused. Like, I think the character of Alphys is fantastic, and I was highly invested in her romance arc, and I had to unlock that ending, which I did, which was satisfying. But it was just like, I don't know. And I appreciate like the morality of it on some level, although at moments I thought it was a bit heavy-handed. But I appreciate the idea of it. And I did think the story was great. I don't want to spoil anything, but I was surprised a lot. But it was just not my kind of like gameplay.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
Yeah, and like, I mean, the pixelized graphics, you know, it's like pretty low qual, which is what it is, which is fine. But there was nothing like keeping me there except like a promise that one day it would get good. And it did. It did. It absolutely did. Like, let no one say that it doesn't deliver. It does. But like, so much work to get there. Yeah.
Did you play it in one sitting? That's my question.
No, I literally could not play it in one sitting. But I played it in maybe like 6 sittings, 6 or 7 or 8 maybe, to get through it twice. So I could do maybe like 2 hours at a time, and then like my brain would have melted and I'd have to do something else.
Just, this is so much happening. There's so much to do. Yeah.
There truly is. And there's always more to discover, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate the nuance of it. But I could not personally enjoy every minute of it.
That's fair.
I also played a lot of Don't Starve, which I maybe talked about on here before and maybe did not. That is a game I deeply enjoy, even though there's like a great sense of futility towards it. Like, because when you die, you're dead. Like, your game is gone. Everything you achieved, it's gone because you died. But there's something about that makes the achievements mean more as you go through it again. Like, earning a crock pot all over again is like, I did it. I can eat food all winter. My greatest fault as a player in that game is when I get killed and I have a touchstone activated, so I'll come back. I immediately go get my stuff from the place where I was killed, which has the same danger, but like I can't leave my stuff behind, so I immediately die twice.
Because it's your stuff.
It's my stuff. I spent all game.
It's a classic video game thing. Like, I don't want to leave my stuff. I spent so much time getting all that stuff, and if you leave it for too long, it's gonna disappear.
It's gonna be eaten by monsters. But I die immediately, so I'm not a great player yet. But I do enjoy playing it. I also have Shipwrecked, which I just started playing, which I think is super fun, with rafts that you can go to different islands on.
I love survival games.
Yeah, they're just really that's
satisfying. Yeah, they're satisfying. Yeah.
And you feel like I was really productive today, although really you did nothing for 7 hours.
But really you sat at your computer
and
all
then
day.
you die and it's gone, and it was like, dang. But it seems like a very profound statement about the human life, almost. depressing but profound.
Almost.
Almost, I agree. And the third game I played for the shortest amount of time, but it was the single best gaming experience of my whole life, probably, was over winter break. My very kind cousin Evan brought over his Nintendo Switch, and he let me play Breath of the Wild. And it was so beautiful, guys. It was stunning. The gameplay was incredible. It was like everything a young Zelda player wants to grow up to see. I could weep just thinking about it. I was really bad, but I did play, I think, until like 4 a.m. Evan was really a generous soul. Jared was there too. We were terrible, and Evan was very good. But I enjoyed every fucking second of that. That was so, and the detail, there's temperatures and the food, and it's like open world. It's so much more expensive than any other Zelda game by light years. It was ridiculous. It's everything I've ever wanted. I loved it. I considered knocking Evan out and stealing his Switch and retreating into the wilderness.
It would have been understandable.
It was real tempting.
I will tell you now that was part of my. I needed a mattress, so I bought that instead. But I was very close to buying a Switch. Like,
could not understand.
I went to Walmart and I was like, they're right there.
I can see that.
I can see that, and it won't mean I can still eat and get this.
Totally.
And I just
do what everyone else, like at least myself, is doing. Wait until the Pokemon game comes out, then you can justify it.
I know.
And hopefully there'll be a price drop before then.
Yeah, seriously, because I literally don't think I could eat and buy one on my current salary. But whereas before I had played it, I truly thought buying a whole game system for one game is absurd. Now I think it's not absurd. It makes total sense. I would do it the first opportunity I got.
And it's not just Breath of the Wild anymore. It's Breath of the Wild. It's Mario Odyssey, which I hear is just the most entertaining game. They're like, it's a Mario game because it's not going to redefine anything. It's not going. It just accept it for what it is, and you're going to have a damn good time. That's what all my friends say. It's gratifying. It's like, you know what? Okay, Mario can stay around. So,
and those are the games of my childhood too. Like, I played only Zelda and only Mario growing up, and they were amazing. And I played
Mario Kart
64. Mario Kart.
Tennis. They're bringing back Mario Tennis.
I love.
There's that nostalgia that just makes it so much better, and like seeing how the games grow up with you or past you. Yeah,
and now there are all these ports that are coming to the Switch. Stardew Valley, which is like everyone says, like Stardew Valley was made for the Switch.
Skyrim, even
Skyrim's coming. Doom.
You can play Skyrim on just in your hands. You have Skyrim.
In your hand, take it anywhere.
Ridiculous.
Take it on your subway.
I love Skyrim. Make Elder Scrolls 6 for the love of fucking God.
7. Morrowind on Elder Scrolls Online is technically 6.
Is it really?
I think so. Don't hold me to that, but I think so.
I like Skyrim. Everyone loves Skyrim, but stop revamping that
stop
and
it.
make the new one.
Yeah, there's a lot of playability in the Skyrims that we already have. I think it would take me a long time to actually fully catch up on everything they have to offer.
That's true. But I would, and it was in a review I saw of Elder Scrolls Online. I have it. I think I've played it for a total of like 6 hours because I got it on Prime Day, one of the only decent things on Prime Day. And I got it, I played it, and I was like, I would just rather, I get it, you're supposed to play with friends. I would rather play Skyrim alone than this with friends.
Yeah.
That was a good, I saw that in a review, and I totally agreed. It's just like, it's not the same.
Yeah, I get that. Totally.
And I didn't care enough about the story to get involved and want to beat it. So it's been collecting dust ever since. So
some games are just better one way or the other. Speaking of which, Don't Starve Together, excellent co-op game. I deeply enjoy that because you can both get things done and you're more productive than ever.
There you go. And you both start.
I'm going to take that as a segue into things that we would like to go to do further in this podcast from here. Like, we have some ideas for what we would like to do, one of which is us playing games together. We're trying to think of how to do that. I'm still trying to learn how we would record that.
Stick Fighter. I should play Stick Fighter. Stick Fighter is the most ridiculous game.
It seems I've watched so many Let's Plays of it, and it seems awesome. But
ridiculous.
I need to figure out how one of us, all of us, have to record it or something like that. And I would need to think of the logistics for it. I'm sure it's possible. I just don't understand it yet.
Just fair.
Yeah. So I'm looking.
It's okay to not know things,
Yes.
Owen.
Amen. What I don't know could fill libraries.
So I'm looking up that. So there's plenty of games that I know. There's games I want to play with them, and they want to play. There's plenty of games, and if you guys have games you'd like to see us play, let us know.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
One thing that we have in the works right now, we have agreed. All three of us have agreed that we're going to each write a short 10-minute play based on, or at least taking place in the story or like lore of one of our favorite video games.
The ultimate crossover.
Yes. We come out in the theater and video games in one.
Ooh, it had to
Yes.
happen.
Woo.
And hopefully, we're gonna try our best over the next 3 weeks to have those ready. So we'll have one ready for 1 week, and then the following week, then the week after that.
Yes, I think the trick for us is just be like, give yourself an hour, lock yourself in a room, and when the hour's up, that's what we're doing.
I have 2 words written. My first
Yeah!
of my play. I wrote that, and I was like,
Nothing.
yeah, and now I have to go to work. But
Will
I wrote
you
out
tell us the 2 words, Owen?
Yeah, I'm intrigued. Gotta find it now.
So I have it on my desktop. I just have to open it.
Or will you tell us which game you're writing about?
Left 4 Dead 2, honestly, because it's awesome. I love the
Here is
game.
my surprise faced.
Yes. Because I wasn't going to write it about Star Wars Battlefront because no, that there'd be
And
a
that and that lore has been well established.
yeah.
There's been, how many movies? 8? No, 9 including. Yeah, no. I want to hear these 2 words though.
Me too. It's like a teaser trailer. Just gonna whet your appetite.
If Microsoft Word ever decides to open, oh yeah,
Struggle of my life.
Your laptop's letting us down.
here we go. Okay. Will Lagniape. That's it.
Cryptic.
What a weird little teaser trailer. You're right.
That's what I've written so far.
I am intrigued.
I
Truly.
actually want to hear more. That's weird.
I didn't think 2 words would do that, but here we are.
But
Oh.
that's what we, and then if there is enough interest, and by interest I mean if one person says yes, I would like to do this, then once we have written and read our plays on these podcasts, we will open a contest up for our viewers to submit their own short video game plays. The winner of which would be read aloud on the podcast, and maybe there'd be a prize of some kind. Don't know yet.
At the very least, our gratitude.
Yes. And like I said, we need interest first.
I'm looking at you, Jared Field.
I got some people in mind. I'm gonna submit this. I'm gonna throw this out too. So
Hell yeah.
hopefully we'll get a little bit of interest. So it's
We'll
not just like
get-
one
we'll
person
make it a
submitting. But
nibble or
like,
two.
we had so many people submit it, but this is the clear winner because it was literally the
We're
only
totally going to
submission.
do that,
We're
even
totally
if there
gonna
is
do
only
that.
one. Yes, we received 10,000 submissions.
But yeah, that's what we'd like to do. We'd like, and another thing that we are working on. At least I know Jesse, you and I discussed. I'm not sure we've discussed it with Tony yet, but so it's a surprise for Tony. But because of the craziness of this past month and realizing schedules suck, especially with one person in another part of the country, We are
Tony.
looking to do maybe a rotating cast situation to see if someone can't do it, we can bring in someone from outside. So if you guys have any interest in joining us on this on the podcast, if you have something you'd like to add to our conversation, if you can feel like you could be on a semi-regular basis, let us know.
Yeah, we used to have four people who were regulars on this show. That was a thing. And then what happened?
That wasn't planned. That was good.
We never had our Xbox PS4 debate.
There's still time.
There is still time. If the debate goes on. And I don't know who's winning, to tell you the truth.
Oh, I know who's winning, but
they're both disappointing to me. But
that one is clearly winning, and it's not what I'm picking. PlayStation is clearly winning right now, basically based on numbers and exclusivity. But
Nintendo Switch is winning right now. What are you talking?
Yeah, hell yeah, I agree.
But this wasn't Nintendo. This is the Xbox PS4 debate.
Yeah, Nintendo never really feels like it's in competition in the same way. It's just like a different thing.
They're just kind of like, you know what? Let's do something cool, and then
yeah. Which is good for them.
They've always been their own thing, which is cool. But I'm very intrigued by the new. Have you heard about the new thing with Xbox Game Pass, Tony?
No.
So you know about Xbox Game Pass, and that you subscribe to for $10 a month, and you can they have like a library of games that you can just download.
Oh, cool! I did not know that.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a Netflix thing.
Yeah, it was not a thing I would ever have done. So,
but it's
cool.
The thing that they just announced about it. For new Xbox exclusive games, those will be a part of Xbox Game Pass day one.
Ooh, that's a big deal.
It means what people are saying, like doing the math. If you are planning on getting just 2 Xbox exclusive games a year, just 2, then getting the Xbox Games Pass is already justified because it's $120 right there.
Yeah,
and you're already going to get these games.
That's a good idea.
And I'm getting it because I was already planning on getting Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2, which are both coming out this year.
I hear Sea of Thieves is very good.
I've watched a couple Let's Plays of it. It looks hilarious.
It looks ridiculous.
Yeah, if you have the right group of friends to play with, it looks like it's going to be a hell of a good time.
Monster Hunter is the other one that I would like to play.
Oh God, it looks so much fun, but also looks very complicated, and I don't have time to learn.
I used to play them on the handhelds a lot. And honestly, I'm at the point of I don't want to buy it for Xbox because I don't want to have it for 2 systems. Because when it comes out for PC, all my friends are going to buy it for PC, and then I would have just wasted $60. So
that's the thing. If you were going to get it on Xbox, I'd get it on Xbox because we could play together. But I'm not going to get it just to play by myself.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which is the same because Jesse, I think you would really like this game, but you don't have an Xbox.
I don't have any gaming system, and Morgan is moving out soon, so the PS4 will not even be in my apartment anymore. I'm Steam only until I come into some cash.
Cash.
And obviously PC. But one day.
I have my 360 sitting here that I don't use anymore.
Hey.
Now that Left 4 Dead 2 is backwards compatible.
What time to be alive?
Although I was debating about whether or not I was kind of wanting to get into streaming a little bit. I was thinking a good game to start with would be Morrowind, because I've never played it, and I do have a copy of it I can't play it on the one, but I can play it on the 360.
I don't know. How are you going to stream that on the 360?
I can hook it up to my computer with my game capture device.
Okay. That was a legit question. I had no idea how you would do that.
Yeah, but my internet isn't great, so I've...
Yeah. Well, going back to our recurring mention of Jared Field was thinking about getting a gaming system, but I don't know if he's still thinking about that, but I think he totally should. Then I can play it when I visit him. Plus, he makes those big teaching bucks.
Buy an Xbox.
Buy them all, and then give me the Switch.
They say buy an Xbox, or like buy Switch, Like, honestly, I think Jared
Buy a
bought
Switch because you
the
should
most.
buy a Switch.
He
I'd
probably
say buy
was.
an Xbox only because Patrick and I both have Xboxes, and so does Tony,
Mm.
and then we could all play together.
We all play together.
I haven't played a game on my Xbox in months.
Which is why another reason I haven't played Destiny 2, because you don't play Destiny 2 on the Xbox anymore.
You don't. Sorry.
You
I
guys,
knew it would happen, and I felt so bad.
yeah, you guys
But-
need to kick me out of that chat, because honestly, it's getting awkward.
Oh no, yeah, we went at it at one of our buddies the other day.
Yeah, I wanted to leave, but there's going to be a big notification that says I left the chat, and I don't want that to pop up while this is happening.
What sort of drama is going down, or is it classified?
He left in the middle of a raid and gave some bullshit excuse. So we were like, nope.
Didn't he left? He ditched us when I was in the raid. Is that this? He's ditched raids multiple times.
I know that that's bad. I know that raids are sacred.
We have a calendar now. So he doesn't have an excuse. So he says yes to the event, and he is committed to that time frame. And he goes, oh, I didn't realize I was committing to that much time. And I typed it, and I didn't send it. But I typed it saying, oh, that means you can't read?
Oh, burn.
I was so mad at it. And, like, I'm clearly still a little salty. So...
Yes,
he-
well, good.
he's like,
Reliability is important.
I played for 3 hours. Neat, you committed to 6. Just bad.
Yeah, man, keeping your commitments important in theater and in video games.
Yes.
Other people depend on you.
I'm mostly mad because I've done it on Xbox a couple of times, and I know how to do it. My character in Destiny 2 is the max level possible, and I've never completed the fucking raid because we get to the end and someone bails. And I'm
if I
so
had a PC,
upset.
I'd jump on, but I don't. Sorry.
Max, I
Same.
agree. But I would be reliable as fuck. I would not be talented, but I would be reliable.
You would
Hey,
learn, just
I
like
wasn't
Owen
talented. I was
did.
gonna say they brought me in. I 5-man raid with them.
The 5-man raid, but it's supposed to take 6. We're so happy.
Very badass.
So-
Owen saved the day.
So my being there could help. Your being there could help.
There you go. I love to try. I'm great at failing, but I'm happy to try.
Half the time, that's half the raid is failing.
Yay! Then I'd be great.
Half the raid is learning the mechanics, and then half is executing.
Which is
I could
the fun thing about the raid is because you go in blind and you don't know things, so you have to learn things, and you learn by failing.
There you go. That's how I've learned everything I know so far.
That's how learning works.
Yeah.
Hey, can I?
Thanks.
Okay. So
Well, yes.
Yeah,
To
it's been-
anyone who listens, please give us
Yes.
feedback. Tell us what you'd like to see, who you'd like to see, if you'd like to be on. Just give us something to work with, please. Seriously.
Just say
we
hi.
ask this every time we do this, and we've gotten
say hi.
no
Yeah.
responses. So
Imagine
just
if you were the first. Imagine how much we'd love you.
how grateful we would be.
Oh, it's getting weird now. Now it's getting weird.
Oh, God. But
All right.
hopefully we'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and edit this down and submit it as quickly as possible so that it'll be out there and people will actually realize we're still alive.
There you go.
Yes, we promise.
We back.
So we
So-
back, yo.
2018. Woo.
Yeah.
Well, peace.